Toronto FC won't be leaving Major League Soccer for Serie A anytime soon, or probably ever, but wouldn't it be fun if they had the chance to more Landon Donovan, considering US soccer presidency-run star striker Sebastian Giovinco brought up the hypothetical in a recent interview, and the former Italian international believes that his current TFC side is good enough to avoid relegation in Italy's top flight. "There's no doubt that MLS has improved," he told La Gazzetta dello Sport. "It's still not on the same level as the elite European leagues, but it all depends on the desire and the effort you put out there. Big names keep arriving and there are a lot of top-quality South Americans. If Toronto were in Serie A, we would avoid relegation easily, maybe finishing in mid-table." The comments were prompted by the Atomic Ant after Italy manager Gianpiero Ventura openly expressed concerns with Giovinco playing in MLS instead of one of Europe's top leagues. The same could be said about Ventura's predecessor and current Chelsea boss Antonio Conte. It's difficult to equate MLS directly to Serie A, or any other league for that matter, but one thing has been clear throughout Giovinco's tenure in Toronto. He's really good. Giovinco has scored 54 regular season goals for TFC since joining the Canadian side in 2015, while adding 37 assists. Additionally, during last season's playoff runs, which saw Toronto advanced all the way to MLS Cup, Giovinco had 4 goals and as many assists. Follow at Madrid Football New Orleans app. Alex Morgan scored in a 4th straight game, Juliet scored for the 4th time in 5 games, and the United States women beat South Korea 31 on Thursday night. Megan Rapinoe added her 34th international goal and her 42nd assist. Having assisted on a diving header in the first half, Rapinoe scored on a penalty kick she drew in the 49th minute when pounced on a loose ball about 12 yards in front of the goal and was tripped by Ji So-hyun. More MLS schedule. Han Chae-rin scored her first international goal in her South Korea debut to make it 21 just before the end of the first half. U.S. forward Mallory Pugh had to leave the game late in the first half with a right hamstring injury. There was no immediate word on the severity of her injury after she was helped off the field by trainers. Meanwhile, Carly Lloyd returned from a 9-week absence because of ankle injury, entering the game as a substitute in the 77th minute. Midfielder Andy Sullivan started for the U.S. about 11 months after having reconstructive knee surgery. Her 3rd-minute shot narrowly missed the far post from about 18 yards. She was substituted out, as planned, at half-time. South Korea began the game in a defensive posture, and the U.S. maintained a decisive edge in possession, forcing Kang Jae to make several sprawling saves before breaking the on-Ertz goal in the 24th minute. Ertz dove in front of 2 defenders to redirect Rapinoe's hard, low corner kick between the legs of Kang as the goalkeeper tried to respond at the near post. Morgan scored in the 40th minute, using her right foot to settle Kelly O'Hara's bouncing pass from the end line, then pivoting and whipping her left foot through the ball from point-blank range. The goal was the 28-year-old Morgan's 78th for the national squad. Han scored against the run of play with a hard shot from about 25 yards that sailed beyond U.S. goal. Keeper Alyssa Neyes reached before dipping under the crossbar. Lloyd's introduction drew an enthusiastic response from nearly 10,000 spectators in the Superdome. The 2-time FIFA World Player of the Year missed a pair of U.S. exhibition wins over New Zealand last month because of an August 13 ankle sprain in a National Women's Soccer League match. Forward Tobin Heath, who has an ankle injury, and defender Taylor Smith, who has an injured shoulder, were not in the lineup and are not expected to play in a second friendly scheduled between South Korea and the U.S. on Sunday in Cary, North Carolina. Both women were hurt in the NWSL Championship match, as Roma and its fans could face severe penalties after alleged racist chants were hurled in the direction of Chelsea's Antonio Rudiger. It appears via broadcast footage from Chelsea's 33 UEFA Champions League draw with Roma at Stamford Bridge this week that after shepherding a ball out of play, Rudiger was subjected to monkey noises and other racist abuse from the away end where the AS Roma fans were congregated. Live stream every Premier League game in the past. UEFA has ordered either partial or full closures of stadiums and announced fines to the clubs, though it doesn't seem to have stamped out the problem of racist chanting in Europe. Hopefully, UEFA will investigate this fully and ban the individuals who allegedly committed the chants. Rudiger signed for Chelsea this past summer for a reported $44.8 million. Zurich app. A complaint to the European Commission challenging soccer's transfer market is set to be withdrawn by the global group of players' unions, according to FIFA. A formal complaint that the trading system is anti-competitive, unjustified and illegal was filed in Brussels 2 years ago by FIFA Pro. Mordushan Tadic tells the story of how he arrived at Southampton after a meeting Thursday of the FIFA Stakeholders Committee. Soccer's world governing body said a tentative agreement relating to unpaid player wages and transfer fees reached with FIFA Pro, European clubs in a global leagues group can help end the dispute next year. It was an issue that was stewing for a long time, FIFA Vice President Victor Montellano told reporters after chairing the meeting. Because of our impetus they came to an agreement. FIFA Pro, which has campaigned to let players terminate contracts after going unpaid for several weeks, cautiously welcomed its constructive talks with FIFA. It's premature to discuss what might happen next regarding our legal complaint against the transfer system, or any prospective deal until we are satisfied with the proposals put forth, the Netherlands-based union said. FIFA has been open to reviewing a transfer system which has seemed weighted in favor of wealthy clubs and was widely criticized in the European summer trading window. Salary caps, limits on squad sizes and restricting loan deals have been suggested. Representing 65,000 players, FIFA Pro had suggested its September 2015 filing threatened the biggest upheaval in transfer rules since the Bosman case in 1995. Then, a European Court of Justice ruling gave players more freedom to move within the European Union and drove up salaries by letting clubs sign out off-contract players without paying a transfer fee. The tentative accord FIFA announced Thursday seeks to amend complex transfer regulations and better protect players and clubs from unpaid salaries and transfer fees. Another shared goal is enforcing cases more efficiently with a clearer path to applying sanctions. Players can wait many months, and even years, pursuing claims for unpaid wages in FIFA judicial bodies. FIFA's ruling council must approve the accord next week at a meeting in India. A new draft of transfer regulations could then be put to the Council next March in Zurich, clearing FIFA Pro to drop its complaint case. More Northern Ireland boss O'Neill banned over DUI plea. Delegates at FIFA headquarters Thursday included English Premier League CEO Richard Scudamore and two-time Champions League winner Edwin van der Sar, now CEO at Ajax. The session also discussed changing rules that govern players' eligibility for national teams and switching allegiance, FIFA said. However, talking points such as club salary caps, allowing an extra Copa America tournament in 2020 on the international match calendar, and issues around the 2022 World Cup in Qatar were not raised. What's next for the U.S. men's national team? More Landon Donovan considering running for U.S. soccer presidency. The first of many dominoes may fall this weekend, according to ESPN FC. The report states that the USMNT is likely to name its interim manager sometime this weekend. However, US Under-20 manager Tab Ramos likely won't be the one named. Ramos is reportedly seeking a full-time position as the USMNT boss, and the interim tag could be a turn-off for the 51-year-old former national team midfielder. U.S. Soccer President Sunil Gulati had stated following former U.S. manager Bruce Arena's departure that he expected to make a decision in 7 to 10 days. A decision this weekend would stick with Gulati's original intentions. The Americans will reconvene next month when they take on Portugal on November 14 in an international friendly in Leiria. More PST speaks with Atlanta United's Julian Gressel. The match was originally scheduled to be played in Faro, but due to recent devastation in the air, the fixture will be played in Leiria and all proceeds will go to the victims of wildfire damage. Portugal will also play a friendly 4 days prior to taking on the US against Saudi Arabia at the same stadium. Follow at Madrid Football.